It's a new year. For many, a new start. A time to reflect. A time for growth. A time of acceptance. And yet, for a select few people, some things never change. Oh, sorry. Are you the man from the skip? What are you doing? Oh, I see. Are you not going to jump out and break everything? You don't want to upset the neighbours? Okay, I'm going, I'm sorry. PlayStation 2, the best-selling suitcase of all time. It's hard to understate just how important this thing was when it came out, and even today, it deserves nothing but the highest dignity and respect for what it... It's hard to understate just how important this thing was when it came out, and even today, it deserves... It's hard to understate just how important this thing... And even today, it... Oh god, he got out. It's time. The house has been compromised. Arm the nukes. Thanks, mummy. And even today, it deserves nothing but the highest dignity and respect. And millions of people still remember and cherish it fondly. But... do they? Because despite selling over 155 million units, and most humans I've interacted with owning or at least playing a PlayStation 2 at some point in their lives, there's one element, one snippet of the PS2 history that often raises an eyebrow whenever I bring it up. The smaller PS2. The EyeToy was released in 2003 and is a camera accessory for the PS2 which projects your own self into the TV and finally allows you to stroke Sonic. And letting you touch animals with your dad in the background sitting in a chair wasn't the only thing the EyeToy could do. It was also made for you to play a handful of exclusive games all based around motion detection, color detection, and even sound detection. Wait, EyeToy? But I already have one of them! Even though Sega had technically come up with this idea 3 years prior with the Dreamcast Dream Eye, that idea went just about as far as the colon, meaning that EyeToy was the first commercial version of camera-based gesture controls in console video games, which would then get furthered along with the PlayStation 3's PlayStation Eye, which would eventually pave the way for touch-based game control with the PlayStation Finger. This camera was way before Kinect and a good few years before motion control fever hit the mainstream on Nintendo Wii, so why does EyeToy feel so forgotten? I don't know. This is the same camera that I've had since I was 9 years old when it first came out, and I absolutely loved it back then. In fact, while I was filming my Kinect video a few years ago, in many places I was convinced in my memory that the EyeToy actually worked better and more consistently than Kinect. But the problem there is, would you trust the memory of a person that whenever they hiccup, there's a 50% chance that they'll do a big shit? And that's why I wanted to revisit the EyeToy today, to see if it held up. And I figured the only fair way to do that was by buying the entire collection of every single EyeToy game that was ever released in every region. Can't get much more conclusive than that. And, in fact, I've gone so deep down the rabbit hole of trying to find every EyeToy exclusive game that I've even proven Wikipedia wrong, a website that has never been wrong a single time. It's not 25, it's actually 28. And no, I'm not going to update the page myself because I'm better than that, so you stick it in your bits, Wikipedia file. Is the EyeToy as good as I remember? Did it run so that the Kinect could just walk? Will it stop looking at me with its eye? Well, let's find out with the PlayStation 2 EyeToy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my OnlyFans. Yeah, of course it wasn't going to be that easy. This is 2003, remember? When everyone had a TV they could share a meal on. You can't just stick this on top of modern TVs, not even the silver revised model that lost weight. So before I could even start using this beast, I had to trade in my dignity and buy myself this bloody thing. Possessors teach, screen top shelf. Mount Lun seconds without any tools. It's a shelf for the top of your flat screen TV. Did you know this was a thing? I didn't, but luckily I managed to get the suspension type. Put your router on top of it, put your remote on top of it, put your flash drive on top of it with glasses, put your flash drive on top of it without glasses. Freely adjusted full desktop. Maximum carry, rack only takes 2 seconds. Easy to install. No. This is proof that God has left us. Hang on, wait, we're missing something. Give me a sec. Yep, that's it. It's complete. I'm ready to go online and say some slurs now. Let's kick things off with the first game ever made for the camera, EyeToy Play. Since this was indeed the first game released to demonstrate this revolutionary tech, it naturally opens up with an instructional video on how to set it up.
The only other things you'll need are a console, a TV...
Oops. I don't have! Once you get your TV and PS2 hooked up to watch the video you were already watching with your TV and PS2 hooked up, the next thing you need to do is grab your nan's body from under the floorboards and then puppeteer her around the house to smash it all up so you can blame it on her. Then when the room is clear, make sure you're 1.5 to 2 meters away from the TV, in the center of the frame, and not too bright or too dark.
Place the camera in the middle of your TV, either below...
Wow, what a great idea. Hello, young lady.
After this is my favorite part though. To quit out of whatever game you are playing, you don't use the controller. These are controller-free games. So instead, you pretend the camera is from NBC after Chris Hansen catches you.
By the way, you know how the Kinect screams and shats at you when it can't see you? You're too close and you're invading my personal space.
You're too far, I've lost my glasses.
Yeah, well, have you seen how alpha the EyeToy is?
You can, of course, cheat by moving your whole body close to the camera.
Yeah, not only does it still work, but it works so well that all of the games consider it cheating if you do it. And it doesn't cry at you either. Like a scab. I call children scabs.
And here we are. Why is the default French? So this is it. This is the EyeToy. And what I'm doing right now? No, I'm not the queen. This is how you navigate 99% of the EyeToy library. Waving over buttons. When they said you aren't using a controller at all, they really committed to it.
What's video messaging? Record message for who? Who's gonna see this? So it's the idea that, like, I can record a message and then people will... Like, I can save it to the memory card, and then whoever I sell this memory card to at, like, a flea market will then find it and see what I've had to say to them from beyond the grave in 100 years. Greetings, Earthling. I'm Jim. This is a house. I don't know if you still live in a house, but if you still live in a house, this is what they used to look like. And if you do still live in a house, that's lucky, because I know your address. And I have a gun. Honey, what have you got to say?
And yes, I know, this camera image is Vaseline. It's ugly, like egg-fried man, but I mean, yeah, it is. What a good critic you are. Give yourself a pat. You should work for Caddicarus. Of course it's ugly. It's just under 240p and being blown up on a TV literally 9 times the pixels it can output. What do you expect from a camera with less megapixels than Ray Charles?
Don't worry though, that messaging system is not all this game is. There are some things that we can play too. Ooh, who should I be? QT? You can't say that, she's probably a minor. I'm sorry, that's the guy from the Gorillas. That's straight up the guy from the Gorillas, I'm sorry. Vernon Bok.
I like him.
Or there's Q.
Minigame 1, Beat Freak, and I've got some people to beat for the high score. Dex and Meh.
I like banging, I'm gonna do banging. I'm gonna have a bang on my EyeToy.
It's a rhythm game. Imagine you're playing the drums on Guitar Hero World Tour, but the drums are missing and you've let all the flies get in. It's standard stuff, but honestly, I'm more taken aback by how well it's registering my hands hitting the beats. I wish I had more to say about it, aside from it reminding me how unfit I am.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Next up is Kung Fu. Spelled like poo. The year is 2000 BC, and the sleeping village has been invaded by a giant Englishman. Your task? To clear out the whole of China from your living room. Not much to say here either. You wave your hands and smack tiny little men around. It's not the most stimulating thing in the world, aside from when you hit enough people and go into wobbly motion, but more importantly, well, my live reactions sum it up better than my script cam.
How is this working so well? Kinect was not this responsive or accurate. Bonus round, break the board. Oh, so you have to hit in the middle, because if you hit the edges... This is so cool. It's actually like... It actually knows that I'm hitting this... I'm super impressed.
So there you go. Not bad, Kung Foot. Also, you remember how the guy said earlier that moving your whole body close to the camera was cheating? Well, I'm not doing that now. I'm just waving more per second than average. But is this considered cheating? Where does the line get drawn between cheating and I can't help it, I'm recovering from a car crash? Next game, wishy-washy. You wash windows. You wash windows. You wash windows.
Can you imagine if I was you were cleaning windows and then, like, this was your view? I keep the window dirty. What's that do? I got 250 numbers.
If anything, I just wish I could play more of the game audio so you could share the joy of listening to George Formby's When I'm Cleaning Windows in the background of the game, but copyright doesn't want me playing a song about a perv watching women get undressed through their bedroom windows in a kid's game, so you'll have to go without.
I've often seen what goes inside.
The most surprising thing, though, is how much you actually have to bend over in this window washing game, and now my spine's broken. Whatever will I do? Wow, I am a new man. Next game, keep-ups.
Come on, let's have it. How many keep-ups can you do?
I don't know, Gavin. It's some fish and chip bloody arse in it.
Now, the game wants you to position the camera high enough where you can use your head to bounce the ball up, but let's be real, you are not gonna bother tilting the camera up and risk all the motion on screen quitting the game before it even starts, and then just having to readjust it all after you're done. So essentially, you have no choice but to squat down and spring load yourself upwards to play it properly. Don't worry though, because as I came to discover, you don't need to use your head. Just use any part of your body, and then whenever the screen goes dark, look at your reflection and wonder to yourself why you can't just find a real ball and go outside. Next game, boxing dump. Hold your arms towards your body in a guarding motion to avoid attacks from the opponent robot, and then hold your arms outwards away from your body in a punching motion to create an attack for the opponent robot. I'm not gonna lie, for as accurate as everything has been so far on this camera, this is not perfect, but it's still functional, and honestly, more reliable and better than anything on the HD 2010 Kinect, even though I look like an apron stain.
What are you so sad about?
A bit more practice and you'll be there.
I'm so sorry, I've got to go divorce me wife.
Next game, UFO juggler.
Look me square in the eyes and tell me you love me.
You wave over the UFOs to keep them from falling, but don't wave on them too much or else they'll get overexcited and die. At least this one requires a bit of thought, multitasking, and restraint. If you just stand in front of the camera and move your whole body to cheat, it won't work in this game, so make sure you play it properly and get 0 points. But you know what? It's not important if you're flying a plane, land it upside down, and kill everyone on board. What really matters is did you get 4,000 skill points? Next game, Slapstream.
Are you ready to play with us?
Madam, I'm a 7-year-old boy.
What is a slapstream, you may ask? Well, let me show you. Next game, Plate Spinner. You spin plates. You know what? I love these game names. Everything today is so complicated. Don't you all yearn for the days of bowling, golf, skiing, eat, sit, shoe?
Okay, so he said welcome. What's he going to say now? Thank you. Thank you for paw shaming me.
In conclusion, Plate Spinner is the scariest horror game of all time.
This is a trick. Ah!
Next game, Boogie Downwards. It's a Simon Says game. You look at the pole-legged woman for a bit and then copy her while making sure in between to lurk right behind her in her hair. Whenever you're next on a subway and want to start a Simon Says dance-off with a woman, just do this. It'll go really well. Next game, Ghost Catcher.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who are you gonna call? The molester.
This game is like Kung Fu, except you're waving at slow-moving targets instead of smacking quick ones. It's making me very sleepy. I'm going to go.
Seeing things, hiding in your bed. Who are you gonna call? The smell pusher away.
Then when you finally had enough, the game tells you got rid of 30,200 ghosts, so well done, pat yourself on the back. And then do it again because your lunch got stuck. Next game, Mirror Tim 3. My personal favourite in the Mirror Tim series.
Hey, you're looking good. But
You're looking like you have one boob.
Now this is a head scratcher. What if I told you you had to wave in the corners of the screen but then I cut you in half and flipped you around. I'm confident in saying this is a puzzle game. It actually gave me a headache trying to work it out as quickly as it wants you to, so I stopped working it out and instead tried to make myself throw up. Final game, Rocket Rumble. Look, the chest shelf came back, and boy is she having a mare, because she bought a load of fireworks that don't explode unless a big hairy man matches them by color and then hits a spade. A common problem for a person born with one. You have to be very specific with your hand movements here, just like with hitting the center of the boards in Kung Fu, but it's just a little bit slower and I'm going.
So that was EyeToy Play, and I've got to say, for being the first game ever made for brand new camera motion-based tech, it's surprisingly competent. It's not complicated, kind of asinine, but for a 20-year-old tech demo, it's alright. And
speaking of tech demos, EyeToy Play also took the chance to give you experimental things next to the minigames as a hint of what was possible and what could be done with the camera tech. You can see yourself underwater.
Hey everyone, I'm Caddicarus. I'm drowning for fun. I'm a whale.
You can see yourself as Bubbles.
You can't win the game. I'm everywhere, all at once, all the time, forever, and you never are able to get rid of me, which is a sad lesson of life that all of you need to know with me being on YouTube.
You can see yourself with balloons.
Yay! So if you ever wanted a real birthday and you aren't allowed one at home, you can now do it on PlayStation 2.
You can see yourself in ice.
Has anybody ever wanted to be stuck in a cube of ice?
Yes, me.
You can see yourself materializing.
This is really cool. I dig this. EyeToy's my new favorite thing. So if I like duck down really quickly, it actually looks like I disappeared.
You can see yourself with sand in different colors.
Okay. Oh, sorry everyone, I dribbled. Oh, I'm still dribbling. Sorry everybody. Life hasn't been the same since Chernobyl.
You can see yourself with spiders.
So these spiders are all in the housing market, and you've got to just try and gather them all up and move them into shared accommodation over by the VW camper over there.
You can see yourself being copied by your own TV.
Oh, so it's delayed. Well, this is cool. Well, how about I go over there? No, it's not cool. It's really boring, actually.
You can see yourself with bees.
This is making me nervous. So what do we do? Oh, it's bees, and that's the game. Bye.
You can see yourself spewing rainbows.
Hello, Doctor. I'm Crayola Man. I must warn you about the year 3017. When we lose crayon, and we can't draw on paper.
And you can even see yourself with leaves.
Wow, Mum, I've always wanted to play with leaves for fun. Can you get me the leaf playing video game? You know when people say touch grass? God's sake, go outside and touch leaves. What are we doing?
my ultimate favourite one, though, is that you can see yourself having a fit without the mess.
EyeToy.
Fitting without the mess!
Hey everybody. This is my impression of someone that has it completely together. I promise I'm all right. No, doctor. I don't need that pill. I'm fine. Like I'll see you same time next week. All right. Bye. Don't worry about me. I'll see you soon.
Actually, I changed my mind. This is my new favourite one.
No effect. Well, they didn't lie about that.
I'm sorry, everybody. I was just busy listening to Jamiroquai Toy Groove. Yeah, I mean, why the hell not? You've got some new motion camera tech for a game console. Of course a dance party was around the corner. And here it is. EyeToy Grboobsva, the first game for the PS2 that allows you to control it with your ass. Get on up to get on down. What? Kickin' playlist featuring Madonna, Village People, Fatboy Slim, Last Ketchup. Hey everyone, do you know who I think of immediately after listening to Elvis? The best part of the back for me, though, is that the first bonus feature listed is a calorie counter. Hi, customer, thanks for buying our game, and as a special bonus, we'll tell you how fat you are. Right, here we go. EyeToy Groove. It's the Freaky Beats game from EyeToy Play, but like My Little Pony on DeviantArt, expanded. There's plenty of licensed songs to dance to, and the game recognizes everything you do to a T. I'm actually kind of stunned, to be honest. This dinky little thing has no right to work this well.
Young man, there's no need to feel young, I said, old man. You have got a bad back and you'll stay there when you fall on the floor and you can't get up. You're 30. It's fun to stay on the floor.
I mean, what else is there to say? It's a rhythm game and it works, but now you're in it and flapping around like a duck who couldn't escape the hound. This is basically as simple to get into yet difficult to master as DDR, but with your hands. I like this game. Go and get it, and then invite your friends over to play it, as long as they can fit.
Long tennis spin. Which one is my song? This one. Yes. Work. Go. This is long discrimination. We are family. And all of my sisters are long. I'm going deeper underground. I'm digging. Oh, I found my ancestor. No. Oh. Where did my little eye go? Unfair!
Next up is a game. This is... I'm gonna look it up. Kaiketsu Zorori Misase! Itazura King. This is 1 out of 3 Japanese exclusive EyeToy games, and I have absolutely no idea what this is, but I think I might enjoy it. It's got a coconut pig and a seaman cat and a blurry Japanese boy and someone about to tell me how wrong I am.
Well, actually...
Now, in any other circumstance, I would usually go into immense depth and detail about the history of this game and then critique it through the lens of its mechanics and then impact on the video game industry as a whole. But this one time I'm not going to do that because this game opens up with you sucking farts out of a pig.
What the
It doesn't feel right watching this.
Now, that should be where we stop. But
I want to see how this story mode unfolds. However, if there is a story mode within this game and there is a story happening, there's only so much the Duolingo bird can help me, and that's going to make things difficult. But actually, does that matter when the first thing the story asks of you is to suck big ones out of a pig's hole to power a smelly cannon? No, it doesn't. So the next thing you have to do is mess up a bedroom and get tissues everywhere for the splat that's sure to follow. And then follow that up with a game where you draw out Japanese letters on a light board that doesn't know if you're drawing them out accurately or powering an eco-friendly power station, so honestly, who cares?
Do I have to have this sound that is just constantly reminding of you, like you pinching under a skirt? I don't need that. I don't get why he's got cauliflower fingers. I don't get why these guys won't stop tooting their toot. I don't get why there's a golden bulldog judging me. Oh no, red word. Great.
Hey boys and girls, have you ever wanted to conduct an orchestra by drawing squares, drawing squares, drawing squares, drawing squares, and drawing a triangle? And then another square?
Oh, watch out. Oh, watch out, everybody. The nerd has loaded.
After that, you get a game where you have to try and tickle your dad. And then you get to play a game when you're getting rid of all the pigs snotting all over you by clapping the bubbles. And yes, EyeToy does recognize when you clap, because I tried to just wave them away and it didn't work. So fair play to you, Senator Bag Cheeks. You may be a disgusting game, but you do know how to program a mechanic where you can only clap on the cat's spit. Then you have a quick game of stealing everyone else's food while slapping them away if they dare come near you. Starve, you dog. And then this happens.
So what have we got here? Are we a fridge or a mirror? Wait. Are these changing rooms? Do you want to play a peeping Tom simulator? Look. Oh,
Well, tough shit for them, I guess. Soap fell on them.
Now, that should be where we stop. But
I wanted to give the game one last shot at making some kind of sense. Surely the pajama cat will start doing something regular. And then this happened.
Here comes the policeman.
The policeman! Okay, so we're... No! Are we... Wait. Are we taking the farts to the policeman? Is that what we're doing right now?
that's me in the corner!
You know, when you're playing games for a living, you have to reach some limit. There has to be a line that has to be drawn, and I think that line is drawn on a children's game about a hairy pig farting in a policeman's face. That's when you stop.
By the way, how is it that I'm not doing well at this at all, yet the blurry child on the back of the box has no issues at all? Maybe he has a hint. What's he saying? Yawo, easygoing, must. Bring on the bread.
Well, I suppose if nothing else can be said for this game, at the very least, I know that I am wider than the average Japanese child.
Hello? Hello, I'm Spot!
Sponce? You didn't tell me that you were a robot?
This video has been sponsored by Ray Shadow Legend Fresh VPN.
I should have known. This is what happens when I don't have a sponsorship. He doesn't know what to do with him. Oh, he's not a robot. He's flesh and bone. He's dead. But without Sponce, I can't sell anything. Let alone my own high-quality merchandise from my high-quality merchandise site that is high quality. No, I'm gonna need to keep using him.
Caddicarus has some new merchandise available for you right now at pixelempire.com/caddy. There are now 4 new items to eat, including a sticker of this confident little goblin, a new poster of this brave idiot that comes with a free sticker of this scared idiot, and 2 new t-shirts. When you can't afford high-end headphones, pick up the new Breets by Dr. Cad, and when you need to buy something naughty but don't have your ID, make sure you prove your age by showing the cashier that you are rated P for policeman. And not only are these new designs up for grabs on their own, but they're also part of a competition, aren't they, Sponce? Yes, you're right. The first 200 customers who buy 3 or more items from my store will automatically enter themselves in for a chance to win one of my 10 remaining limited edition Blu-ray sets with a signed thank you card inside and a 15-minute Zoom call with me. Yes, not you. Me. And of course, there are the other t-shirts and Crash Bandicoot Platinum Relic tracker poster based on the London Underground. They're all still there, and there's nothing stopping you from buying all of it. It's what Sponce would have wanted. Buy it all for him. If he looks this good in all of it and he's dead, imagine how your alive flesh will look. Deck yourself out today at pixelempire.com/caddy so you can be cooler than everyone else around you. Don't be square, be kite. Oh, wait, hang on. He's not gone yet. I think he might have a final thing to say.
Manscaped!
Right, we're only 3 games in, and the 4th game is sports. Sorry. So here we have a quaint little game called Ooh Move, which is what old ladies say to me when I sit next to them on the bus. And you can tell from the box that we're in for a rip-roaring good time because the lady in the TV is out of focus. First off, we have the art studio for all the miscellaneous trash that doesn't fit the theme of sports. We have blurred slow motion.
Welcome to my stand-up. I have a joke for you. Get ready. Sew your pants, because they'll leak. What happened to me when this morning I missed the bus? I missed the...
We have Defrosty.
Oh no, nobody can see me. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know. Make it see me. And lag.
We have Sand.
So apparently this is what we're calling sand. Sand is more or less exactly like, I'm going to distort my voice and talk to you about my horrible traumatic experience dealing with a former children's TV presenter. At this point, I could like roll my sleeve up. Okay, you want to see some sand? All right.
We have Party Time.
Are you okay? You are not okay. When was the last time anyone went to a party like this? Stop looking at me.
I don't know what you think I can do for you, but I can't do that. This is borderline analog horror. I feel as though something's gonna come from the dark behind me. Stop it! What? Do I dance? Oh, you do!
We have Kaleidoscope.
And here we see the plumage of the blossoming Caddicarus. That part is where the seeds are sown. Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
We have Lawnmower.
Oh, shall I mow the whole lawn and see what happens? I'm gonna see what happens if I mow the whole lawn. I'm not mowing the lawn anymore.
And we even have this.
Bouncing baby. I've always wanted to bounce one of them. False advertising. I wanted to smack a baby.
But we don't care about any of that. We want to move. Okay, well, I don't want to move, but we want sports. Well, no, I don't want sports either. No, I don't want any of this.
First off, we have perfect goalie. Only one problem, though. Just like William Shakespeare, it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe we finally reached the point where it's nothing to do with how good the camera itself is, but how the devs are able to make it work. I should have been able to save at least half of these goals, but it just didn't work properly. How can you go from accurate angle wood chopping and spit bubble clapping to your entire body not being able to block a ball? I know, maybe it's because the game is too quick, so how about we slow it down with ball-tossing aliens?
Why won't you return my calls?
Up next is Yellow Card.
Watch out for those yellow cards. Wave your hands over the referee's hands to persuade him not to penalise you. You know how in real football that the referee gets somebody's card out and then they just give him a little tickle and then the card goes away?
You'd think this would be more engaging than just wave over one person at a time and wait until you're able to wave at somebody else, but nope, that's honestly all that you do. It's mind-numbing, but you gotta keep going. Could you live with yourself if your high score was lower than fudge?
Honest to God, what is going on with your head? I swear someone dropped this on London during the Blitz.
Space Breakout. You're bouncing a football and playing Breakout. What more does a growing boy need? Not really much to say here. It's fine. So we'll move on to the next game, which is called Dribbling. Yes! It's another slug game where you move a ball left and right between cones very slowly. You know, for a game that's telling me you move, it sure is spending a lot of its time telling me you stand still. Look at me. Look at me. This is the face of someone alert and ready for another EyeToy football game. Except he isn't, because I'm gonna skip the rest of them and see what else there is to do.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sorry about that. What you'll find with a lot of the EyeToy library is that they're just minigame compilations that are all variations of the exact same idea.
I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. I'd rather play Batting Frenzy. Or Rugby Clash that tells you to run, block and throw but doesn't work properly. Or Horse Racing that's spelled wrong because maybe the name of the horse is Horsey and lets you ride the back of a horse while spanking it and looking at the cured prosciutto ham coming out of its mouth. Or Hole in One that isn't golf at all and is just pushing everything away from a ball that's been hit by someone else with a snowman on his head, and that ends with a high score photo being taken of you while you weren't expecting it. Happy birthday.
By the way, I am aware that we have just started this marathon, but to be honest, I am already getting very tired of all of the waving you've got to do on everything. Especially in the games when you don't even need to be standing there or waving at anything, but because it's on EyeToy and you're on camera and you've got to use your arms and motion control and everything, you just got to stand there and wave at everything all the time. Even if you don't need to do any standing up or waving or moving around, you could use a controller, but it's an EyeToy game, so you've got to just stand there and wave at everything. It's just non-stop, all the time. This is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face, and now I've lost my face.
Here is an EyeToy exclusive Ape Escape spin-off. Very cool. Monkey Mania. Whoa! Is that an open mouth, or does he just have really big lips? I don't know what to expect here, but this kid doesn't look like he's having a good time. He looks very concerned. And this girl came dressed up in a BMX helmet.
Oh, come on! Why does that keep happening?
Be careful not to run into objects or people.
Gee, I forgot.
Thanks, Monkey Mania.
Now, I love me some Ape Escape, and I know about stuff like Ape Academy and Ape Quest, but somehow I didn't even know this was a thing until just now. So to commemorate this, my name is Beef. I also need an accessory, so I went with an exploding head. And as far as my profile picture... perfect. The game has just started, and I have been provided an opponent worthy to rival the gusto of the mighty Beef. Saruman from Lord of the Rings. I wasn't sure what I was expecting here exactly, but it turns out Monkey Mania is a Mario Party clone. Vomit. So if you've played Mario Party before, you'll know what you'll be getting into. Roll a number, land on a space, deal with whatever the space says, collect items to win, and occasionally compete in minigames to win or lose more items. But now you're doing it all in a urinal. It's just Mario Party, but standing up. Not much more to say here.
He is done with his shit.
Actually, no, there is more. It's Mario Party, but with mini-games that take over a minute to finish instead of seconds, items you can buy as many times as you want in one go, but then also can't use them at the same time as moving along the board. The way you win the game is by having enough monkeys to reach the top, and yet when you reach the space to win the game, it still asks you if you want to go to the winning space to immediately win the game, meaning that you can choose not to win the game. And to top it all off with a bright red infected cherry, the scoring system gives you effort points that don't mean anything. But in fairness, if I was going to the butcher's to buy a slab of beef for 1p, I would put 5 effort in as well.
People.
Even worse, I played a round of this for 23 minutes, and in all of that time, I played 5 mini-games. The rest of the time was exactly what you're looking at right now, for minutes and minutes at a time. It's so boring. Ape Escape and boring go together like unleaded petrol and your liver. I don't even know why this warranted use of the EyeToy, because not only do barely any mini-games happen that you actually get mileage out of the camera, but also because 70% of the time you're just sat down watching your computer player doing more than you. And every so often a tentacle appears that isn't mine, I promise. Wow, really? I can finally play the Crash and Cone minigame whenever I want, where I drive a badly cut out JPEG that doesn't steer properly? Be still, my beating heart. Please. It's too exciting. My heart's racing. It hurt. My chest hurts. Stop. I'm losing breath. Stop exciting me. Don't talk to me. I'm going to die. Here we have SpongeBob SquarePants Move In With Friends.
Well, if you do that, make sure you all take turns cleaning the dishes and that you all pay your fair share of the bills. I hate myself.
Rotate the manual focus ring until the image is sharp. Oh yeah. Sharp as a wooden spoon. For this adventure, I am Moltingy, and unlike every real-life human baby, you get to pick your color.
Orange splatter. I am cyan, chocolate, delta blues, mellow yellow, red alert, in the pink.
Oh dear.
One in the pig, one in the stinker.
And yes, I know I said it was an adventure, but no, it isn't. It's more mini-games back-to-back from various Nickelodeon shows. But that's not an issue. I'm privy to the occasional Nickload on me. So let's kick it off with SpongeBob games, starting with bowling, which feels completely impossible to get a strike on, and I don't appreciate Patrick's trapdoor mouth or SpongeBob looking at me like he wants to take me backwards. After that, you get a matching game, which is honestly impossible, because how are you supposed to pick one ingredient at a time and then move to another ingredient without the rest of your body activating another ingredient? I don't know, and I would ask SpongeBob, but he's a bit too busy reliving his time in the IRA. But then there's this driving game, and this is good shit. You hit the left and right side of the car to change lanes, collect bubbles, and avoid drain covers. It's like playing Subway Surfers or Temple Run on your phone, but much more fun. And all it takes is a PS2 console, SpongeBob on PS2, an EyeToy camera, decent lighting, and a 50-kilo box. I even got a high score in this one, and I will cherish that memory forever. We've also got another good one next with jellyfishing, even though all you have to do is hit jellyfish and try to stop hitting Squidward because you don't need to go through the effort. He'll end himself with a shotgun in a few years. It's a really fun time, but when I say it's quick, I do mean it. You've only got 61.9 seconds to do it. But that is enough of Patrick and Sponge Robert. What about his friends he's moving with? Well, they don't get anywhere near as much of the same attention as he does, both for the amount of mini-games and for what they even are. It's just picture panel swapping, extended arm flying through rings, Jimmy Neutron massive head juggling, hockey puck goalkeeping while giving up on life and realizing what an embarrassment you are, waving on cracks in a fish tank, this absolute dog shit submarine game that's supposed to let you control the depth but just doesn't work, and a game of Snake but with magnets on the edge of the arena pulling Daniel Fant towards the pickups. The only thing worth mentioning that stands out is this Billy Hatcher Katamari-esque Fairly Odd Parents arcade game that's really fast-paced and controls really well, and this Danny Phantom ghost-busting game where you have to time left and right long-ranged blast to hit the ghosts, almost like Hungry Hippos, but people jumped into the enclosure, and at that point you might as well say goodbye to little Billy because his head won't belong to him anymore. As a whole though, this is a really odd game. It's really hard to have a solid feeling on something when 1 second you're having a blast and then immediately afterwards the menu won't stop scrolling left and all you can do is watch in horror. This game is like, the half of it works perfectly and is really fun, and the other half fell asleep. SpongeBob on PS2 is a stroke.
Hang on, what's... Who's that over there?
Hey Caddy, how's it hanging?
Oh, of course! It's my favourite part of me, the top of my own head!
I won't be long, I just came down to show you something from inside myself that you probably forgot about but really liked.
Well, top of my own head, I would really appreciate something that I like. What is it?
Oh no, I'm in the way. Sega Superstars, a game that I played all the time and loved to pieces as a kid, but also the only game that ever pissed me off so much I ripped its film off. Now the absolute first thing to mention beyond anything else so far about Sega Superstars is that it has a very funny confirmation noise. That, and based on the intro alone, this is the most amount of effort put into any one of these games so far, if for no other reason than it actually gives you another original Choo Choo Rocket, Billy Hatcher, and Nights into Dreams game that you control like there's a pole stuck up in you, just like it's right up in you. But that's not all. Sega Superstars kind of goes out of its way to translate their own series into motion-controlled camera filming a real person minigames, and even if they are just the same ideas all over again, like Samba de Amigo being yet another EyeToy groove, they managed to fill every inch of the screen with way more personality, color, and just general stuff than any of the other games so far. You and your ditchwater living room aren't the focal point anymore, you're just part of the game worlds now. Maybe aside from Virtua Fighter when Akira just bursts into your house to steal your cushions, but don't worry.
Shh, I'll take care of you. We can get you some new furnishings at Dunelm.
I am legit impressed by the production values here, and all the games work great too. What possessed 10-year-old me to tear this game's skin off? Was it Super Monkey Ball? It was probably Super Monkey Ball. But saying that, it's not even that hard. I managed to get through it all, no problem. I even got a high score, which I've never done on Monkey Ball before.
Superstar! Yeah! Give me some skin.
Oh. The Space Channel 5 game is great for being a copying memory game and rhythm game at the same time, and for finishing off each round by putting you right bang dot in between her legs. Why did they do this? Why is this even possible? There isn't anything to see anyway because somebody went under her skirt and put polyfiller in it. Then there's Choo Choo Rocket, of course, for multitasking timing-based puzzling, Virtua Striker for being just a really responsive and fun way to head a ball into score balloons, Puyo Pop Fever for being the most accurate object interaction minigame I think I've ever seen from a 240p 2003 webcam. And just, I mean, look at how smooth and quick Knights is to control around. Connect, what is your excuse? More like Kid Not. Sega Superstars is even made well enough where I was comfortably able to get a high score on nearly every minigame, aside from Crazy Taxi.
Yo! Apparently I've got to yell! Move your body to get the taxi! Okay. Hello! I need a ride to the train! Look out for what? Time's over.
And so to celebrate, they asked for my picture to go on the front screen of every single minigame. So I gave it to them. A massive congratulations to Ool, Bink, Gust, Ache, Drink, Oi Mate, Dable, Fair, Woman, at Tag Damp, and of course, the man who was named in honor of what Billy Hatcher is all about, Fetus.
Wait a minute, This game's 3+, and yet somehow they managed to get zombie violence past the censors. That's hardcore. Sega, you are a company. A publishing company, in fact.
That started all the way back in 1940 when they were known as Standard Games, providing coin-operated games for military bases in Hawaii. After that, in 1952, they moved to Japan, and then a lot of other stuff happened, and then they made Sega Superstars, and on top of all the quirky, unique, cool shit this game does do, it isn't all for the sake of high scores and nothing else. It's so that you can earn rings and then use those rings to buy stuff for your pet chow. Oh my god! Yeah, I know this is a Sonic Adventure thing, it's not mind-blowing or anything, but do you get to tickle your chow yourself? Or pet your chow yourself? Or go and see a dodgy blind man to spend $10,000 on a tree in the black market yourself? No, you don't. But you do here, in this game. And is it all worth it to watch your chow eat shrinking cake and then spend $5,000 on a trumpet that only gives you a percentage of a chance that he'll ever pick it up and toot off? Yes. Yes, it is. I spent over an hour on this game and I genuinely enjoyed nearly every single moment of it. I mean, take a step back and that's a really dumb thing to say. Yeah, man, this game is so fun, you want to play it for at least an hour, but for something as physically demanding as this, yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Oh, they shat on me.
Thing is, though, it is still just wiggling your turkey wings at a load of shapes while Sega characters shout at you. I'm not sure I'd go as far as to say it's your new favorite game of all time. Oh yeah, PSW? That's a hot take. Is that why you went bankrupt?
And just for fun, here's something you can try at home!
Remember that the EyeToy is indeed a USB camera. In fact, the first batches of these were made by Logitech, of all people. So, if you wanted to, with the correct drivers, you can use this on your PC as a webcam with its built-in microphone and everything. Incredible. 20 years old, still able to control video games, and out of the box, ready for your next Zoom meeting.
So with a little redistribution, we will all be more productive. See what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. What do you think, Jim?
Kenneth, you're a slug, and Sharon, get in the bin. What we need to do is liquidate our...
EyeToy Anti-Grav, the only game I can think of where it advertises itself by showing a boy with no head jumping over his TV with his jeans falling down and his boxers hanging out. This game was made by Harmonix, the same people behind the original Guitar Hero and Rock Band. That's odd. But more importantly, what even is this bit here? What is that in your pants, man? Why are you keeping a white rose in your trousers? Well, first things first, this intro goes hard. I am digging this style, and listen to the music, for God's sake. And then after a super quick head calibration test, we turn into fog and then we get to pick our character, who all have great things to say, like,
I get my kicks busting tricks like a lunatic.
And there's even a cameo from Tetsuo the Iron Man. Don't let him touch you though, you'll get rusty. But ultimately I went with this guy, whose name is Compound. Compound the Man. Why is he called Compound? It's like having a baby and naming him Car Park. And as you could probably guess from the cover, EyeToy Anti-Grav is a hoverboard game that requires your whole body to make it work.
Wait, I know what that is like. That is like other video game.
Sonic Freeride. Would you believe it though when I say that EyeToy Anti-Grav, a game that's 6 years older than Sonic Riders, on a console 32 times less powerful than the Xbox 360, using a motion capture device half the resolution and lacking the infrared technology of Kinect, works infinitely better than it? Because it does. All of the ducking, all of the jumping, all of the leaning, all of the arm reaching out at multiple levels while standing or bending down, all of the arm movements needed for air tricks, all of the steering and slowing down, all of the flying with your arms held out like a dying Christ. Everything you see here not only works well, but is also reliable. The only thing I couldn't get working was how sensitive the name enter screen was, so I guess CAC will have to do. But bigger picture, look everyone, I managed to win a race. Twice. I even got a high score on the combo trick race, and I couldn't even do one trick in Tony Hawk Ride, which had no camera at all. Caddicarus.
Honestly, this game is good. I'm speechless. Hello, Caddy, it's Joe. How are you?
Aha! I can't believe it. Look, everybody, it's my stepbrother with one leg longer than the other, Jolene. What are you doing here, Joe?
I was playing EyeToy Anti-Grav, but couldn't stop turning left.
Oh, bless. What did you think would happen, idiot?
It's not my fault. I just got here, and I couldn't get out of the door frame, so I decided to try it. It's the first game I've ever played.
Well, I'm really sorry that the first video game you ever played was the only one that required you to stand upright to get working properly. But don't worry, I've got some more. Oh, he's down.
It's okay, I'm used to it.
Well done. Well, in that case, why don't we take a look at the next game, the second in the three...
Can you lift me up, please?
Why don't we take a look at the next game, the second in the three...
Help me, step bro, I'm stuck.
The next game is the second of the 3 Japanese EyeToy exclusives, and it's called... Clamp. I don't know what it is or what it's about, but one thing is for certain, there is EyeToy. That's a good sign. I don't know, what does Google think? Next door requires EyeToy camera.
Little does he know, I am really into this. I'm coming over.
So here we are, and according to some research, I figured out this is actually called Cardcaptor Sakura featuring Sakura and Asbo. And usually I'm able to muddle my way through a foreign game to get to the actual game, or at least figure out the concrete base of what's going on, but I actually have no idea this time what is going on. I even managed to get into what I thought was the story mode, and after 4 minutes of waving to skip all of the voiceless dialogue I couldn't read, I got to a new menu, guessed what I was supposed to click on next, and then got slapped back to the main menu, meaning I had to start it all over again. My point is, if I've ever upset you in the past for not liking a thing that you like, here is your evidence why you should never listen to me. So here we go all over again. Another 4 minutes of skipping dialogue.
Hey guys, it's me, it's Caddicarus, and I'm very proud to announce my new gameplay channel, Forehead Gaming.
Yes, finally! I waved on the right thing and now we're getting somewhere. Look, it's a man with an acorn head who's too big to fit in this young girl's room, so he sunk through the floor. And I guess he's now given us a load of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Is this the card capturing the game is named after? I don't care. Each of these cards hosts a mini-game, and that is all that I need to know. And the very first thing that I tried out was a maze game. Great. As it goes with maze games, they are mazes, which means they're very easy to get lost in. And not only do you get lost, but you have to get unlost by holding your arm extended from your body for 4.5 minutes straight while people walking by your house look through your window and start calling the local neighborhood watch. Then there's this game about smacking little pimples with ears, and this is where I discovered the best feature of Cardcaptor Sakura. It's the only EyeToy game out of all 28 that doesn't let you pause or quit, either from covering the lens completely or from a PS2 controller manual override. Once you start a game, you are married to whatever rollerblading gout you've got until you either run out of time or win the game, including this pinball game that just drones on forever until you lose all of your balls, this slot machine game that's just hitting one button and luck for 1.5 minutes, and especially this card matching game, which in all fairness is alright because you gotta try and match everything up while the cards get mixed up after every turn. But this game lasted me 7 minutes, 7 whole minutes of standing there and waving like a grandma saying goodbye to her grandkids for the last time. Eventually I got fed up and just decided to sit it out and do nothing, waiting for the final season of Breaking Bad to come out. Bad broke, and then the timer eventually did run out, and yet somehow I still won 3-0 after 4 minutes and 50 seconds of not doing anything. Does anybody have a little girl I can strangle? Oh, don't worry, I found one.
That's summer, man. I'd give anything to live it again. Take me back.
All in all, Cardcaptor Sakura on the PS2 EyeToy is the best game for you if you want to see your finger poke the head of your underage waifu.
But whatever you do, don't poke the EyeToy man.
Hey, you know what I want to know? If playing is so great, then where's Play 2? Here it is. Now I know what you're thinking. Cads, matey boy, isn't EyeToy Play 2 just 2 EyeToy Play 1s? No. Moron.
PS2 EyeToy Play 2s.
I guess the original pack-in tech demo was popular enough where it earned itself a sequel, and in fairness, this was the EyeToy game that 10-year-old Caddy put the most hours into, so let's see if there's anything to be saved from a man that really, really, really wants that baseball. This looks fine, nothing wrong here.
I'm here to help you find your way around the game.
I'm here to tell you to shut up.
Make sure that you can fit inside the player outline.
Like you fit in your own coffin.
EyeToy Play 2 is the same as the first game, but with 10 times the production values, way more mini-games, way more multiplayer games, even though I'll die alone, and just a slightly higher degree of polish all across the board. Which also means alongside the mini-games, we also have more of these lab experiments that you don't necessarily play, but goddamn, you just have to look at them all anyway.
It's the Caddicarus, featuring the ceiling, the endless reaches of space. Population 1. Size pretty massive. This is the Jim Nebula, and one of the stones is here. Mound. In the planet Mound, everybody bleeds. But the good thing is, the bleeding is fun. So everyone does it to themselves. And that's why there's no one living here anymore. Another planet you can visit is this one. It's called Marble. In the planet Marble, everyone that's here has a really long-fronted cap on their head. Be careful though. Whenever you move, you bring the icy cold reminder of ice. Then, of course, no one can forget the planet Boil. On the planet Boil, not only does it look like a boil, but you also boil. And then when you are done with your tour around the Jim Nebula, you get a souvenir in the form of one of those Jewish hats. So now you have a keepsake for all time. Thank you for visiting the Jim Nebula. Bye. Brightly coloured fruit. Okay, so to save ourselves from getting a healthier diet and looking after ourselves, I've decided to do the next best thing and just find whatever we had in the fridge for this video game. So I managed to find a yellow pepper, a tiny carton of apple juice. Where are they gone?
I don't know.
I was gonna add my wagon wheel. Oh, this is great. I have an empty carton of apple juice and a woman on a pepper. Wow, everybody. I'm invisible. Why does the mirror in the background have skin now? So how do I go high? Oh, so I have to talk to it. Oh, we actually get to play pool. I've just started and I lost. Yeah. What happens if I dab it?
Oh, you get one in.
Yeah, boy. Oh, I like that. Oh. And now we have finished. We have finished our masterpiece. Can anyone see what I was going for? Yes, that's right. It's a self-portrait.
So enough of that, let's try the real game.
It works. It works.
Look, I know I'm saying this a lot, trust me, I know, but when your most recent experience of this kind of technology is the penguins of Madagascar, you find yourself saying that a lot when it does end up working. I'm more floored by just how accurately it reads your body movements, even to the top of your fingertips, which is so pixelated and indistinguishable on the camera that they might as well be a wet towel, but goddamn, look at this little bugger. It's good, it works, and all it took to get here was a little bit of ethnic stereotyping.
Oh boy. How's he gonna sound? Let's find out.
Saying that though, I don't remember the last time I heard a Northern English accent this thick in a video game before. It's great.
Now try to save at least 3 out of 5 shots.
I'm not sure though. That guy looks a little sauce to me. Yeah, sauce. No, not sus, sauce. It's sausagey.
Get in goal and help your team win the match.
Get in goal and tell me wife to put a pie in it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not arguing that this is high art or super stimulating, but it is very fun, can't lie. And it's all worth it when in the baseball game, after multiple attempts of playing properly and not being able to hit a single home run, you give up and do this. Or when you get a knockout in the boxing game and your action replay catches the very moment when you're in too deep and you think you're actually protecting your family from a man in the house. There's an updated version of Kung Fu, a robot monkey puzzle game that's really fun, and then there's deeper mini-games that have micro-games within the main mini-game, like the cooking one where you have to match up every order on the ticket correctly, but then if you run out of batches or make too many mistakes, you then have to go to micro-games to create the missing ingredients as fast as possible before the day ends, all under the umbrella of a game called Mr. Chef.
Oh, sorry. You caught me in the middle of eating a sandwich. That's my name. Sandwich.
I challenge you to a cook-off.
Well, then let's go, Biff.
Beaten me, but I wasn't even trying.
There's even a really fun secret agent game where you need to stay as still as possible when the searchlights are on you while solving puzzles under a time limit. Look at me go. I'm not the Burger King, I'm the Burglar King. EyeToy Play 2 is a good ride, would do it again. Even that slightly jank building game where you can't hammer nails in straight and you've got to smash a wall in.
Sell their houses to who? Aquaman!
And with that, Jim exposes himself as not only a racist, but a plagiarist, which is worse. He stole that bit from vastly more successful and popular YouTuber, H-Bomber Guy. And this isn't a one-off mistake. It's a consistent pattern of behavior. Is there a car going past? Extending to Twitter, where he blatantly copied a viral tweet H-Bomb made word for word. And he thought he could get away with it, just because he made it before me. The cur. So I ask you, please, unsubscribe from Caddicarus. Think twice about everything you consume on YouTube. And Disney, move. Disney, move. Disney, move.
Disney, move! Move! Go! Move out of the way, Disney! Move! It's a national speed limit! You're the star. The actor is you. Fun, fun, fun everywhere, as seen on TV.
Where? Oh. There.
What do we have here then? 15 Disney characters, 6 Disney worlds, 3 levels of difficulty. Expect the unexpected explosions.
Obama?
Immediately what sticks out to me about Disney Move is just how utterly barren and empty it is to the deep, rotting, dejected core. Every single millimeter of it, from the front of the box, to the loading screens, to the menus, to the music, to the minigame backgrounds, to the transitions of still images whenever they explain what's going on in tutorials, to the font, to the inane simplicity of the minigames, to the indecisiveness of this being a black pirate or a white pirate, is dull. It is so dull. It's drab, it's tired, it's dreary, it's monotonous, it's lame, it's dismal, and many other words that you can find in today's video's sponsor, a thesaurus. I wish I had something more to say or more jokes to poke at it, but I just can't. Can you make a joke about the back of the box being mostly white space? Microsoft Word looking bitch. I'm mostly just shocked that this is from Disney and not IKEA. During the ghost catching minigame, the cameras you use in it managed to capture the essence of how I felt about the whole thing. For Christ's sake, in the Aladdin's carpet game, which simply doesn't work, I got munted by at least 7 melons and kept falling off the carpet, and yet I still won. What is this game?
Lilo and Stitch Music Band.
Lilo and Stitch Music Band? What other kind of band? Elastic band?
I'd go as far as to call it a mess, but it doesn't even spread itself far enough to leave anything behind on the mattress. It's just a nothing game. An empty, nothing game from Disney, of all people. I was expecting more from a game that was promising me that I could beat Donald Duck. Disney move with your Asda Smart Price box and your incorrect script.
Haunted Mansion.
That's not what the words say.
I say, move.
This is one of the worst games I've ever played. Not even kidding. Not because it's incompetent or anything, but because it's just so dull and inept. It's an exhausted sitting down of a game. It's an outward breath. And I can't believe with all the resources and money that Disney have, they didn't do anything cool with it. However, though, I do have to be fair, I kinda like—
Unexpected explosion! Hey, you with the PlayStation 2! Who? Yes,
Me?
you! Yes, you! You think you bought a video game system to play a video game? Well, I mean—
No! You bought it to learn! EyeToy Educate! You will be taught the number 4! Backwards! You will be taught octopus! You will be taught toenails! You will have material to have fun studying with!
Hail, falling for Kang Me!
Get rid of the bonus game! Love Cafe! Clam multiplication table! Mounting a mobile! Have trouble understanding numbers? Multiplication tables are difficult? Learn!
Oh my god, look at this. It's a 2005 Korean Christmas catalogue for the PS2. What a trip. Even though I can't understand what the writing says, I still feel nostalgic looking through this. And in fairness, even if the Katamari section was in English, it still wouldn't make any sense. Oh man, look! They even have my favourite PlayStation 2 game, Racket Clank Tool Warrior College. You know how they say AI is the future? This may be an educational game, but they've actually given us a story. And that is that one day, a young girl had leaves for hair, so she told her brother how great it was to have foliage coming out of your head, so he decided to push a clover out and then a book ate them. And so it's your job to complete a load of educational games within the book, like this math equations game that I am great at. It's not my fault. Numbers are different in Korean. You can also do some matching color games, simultaneous rhythm and pattern memory games, simultaneous weight and number matching games, learning the best time to take a pair of breets off the stove so they don't burn games, and games where you're navigating a maze with a monkey that uses your fetid old face to react to smacking into a rock and then relieving himself on top of a clam. I'm gonna complain about this actually. Where's customer services?
You've dialed an incorrect number. Please check the number and try again.
You're not Korean. Okay, I forgot that foreign countries have an area code. I'm gonna add in the area code for Korea and try again. It ended immediately. Okay, how about the Korean dialing code, but without the 0?
You've dialed an incorrect number.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and try your call again.
The new BTS single sounds great.
Are you still rolling?
Yeah.
Why did it give me 2 different responses?
There was the same number as the first one, right?
There's a conspiracy.
And that one was American.
America and Korea, one and the same. Does Korea even exist? Who's to say?
You know something? We really take mobile phones for granted. Back before the days of screens in your pocket being used to see someone else's live video instantly, and that using more data in 1 second than every computer combined to get 3 men on the moon 50 years ago. This is what people had to degrade themselves to do just to be able to see someone else not in the same house. EyeToy Chat. The broadband communicator. Yeah, you call it broadband, but I remember it. You go on Google Images and search for a hot lady, and then after 25 seconds of waiting, you'd see her ankle. Sadly, all of the PS2's official online servers have shut— it wasn't even a clear picture— have shut down, meaning that now, this game is nothing more than an elaborate method of fixing a wobbly table in a restaurant. But you've got to respect the history, man. Look at this. You know it's going to be good when all the text is completely clear on the box, except for the 3 main bullet points. And hey, even if it doesn't work anymore, at least these guys had a great time with it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119
To reiterate though, yeah, the software itself is totally worthless aside from just looking at options menus, testing a connection that doesn't exist, and writing your name into the system. Sunk.
This is great! But enough about that.
Next up, we've got EyeToy Tales, another one of the extremely rare Korean-only PS2 EyeToy games, and the most expensive game I ended up picking up for this video. So you know what that means? Yes, I'm afraid it's got to go. Lovely thumb.
Hello, dearie. I'm the little old lady that lives in the knee.
There is a lot to digest in this cover, for sure. And I know you're expecting me to immediately make a joke about this pig's arms looking like wonkers, but what kind of immature cretin do you think I am? I'm not gonna make that joke. The cover already made that joke for me, because that's just outright a knob. I'm sorry, the pig walks around on knobs. My mind isn't in the gutter. What else does this look like?
I bet I'm the only person in the world that's risking a YouTube age restriction or video deletion from showing the leg of a cartoon pig.
This is a fairy tale based educational tool for very young Korean kids learning English, which means 3 things. 1, I can understand it great because I'm from the place that invented English. 2, I don't need to play the minigames because I can spell.
Bum rule.
And 3, I've got absolutely nothing I can script. The game and my reactions speak for themselves. So please enjoy, because I did.
I can already tell this is going to be great. How's the voice going to be?
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs.
It's gaming in the Clinton years. George Wood, is that you?
Final Fantasy III. Get it or die. Their mother told them to leave home because they
weren't bringing home girls. Their mother had also just spent all her child maintenance on swapping her hands with oven gloves.
Before they left, she said...
Before they left.
He will try to eat you.
Wow. You couldn't sound a bit more concerned, could you? Holy shit. Dude's got teeth right in the back of his jaw there. Whenever he closes his mouth, it eats itself. What's the fun?
I am a cloud.
My name is Rabbit.
No! Your name's not Rabbit. No, where's the cloud?
I am a cloud. Build strong houses. Then you will always be safe from the wolf.
Can Rabbit talk? Oh no.
Strong houses.
So, okay. What is it? What's it? You're reminding that.
My name is Rabbit.
Wait. So, what is it that you've got to remind your kids to do? Was it strong houses they needed? What was it?
Strong houses.
No, strong housing.
The first pig thought the straw would make a good house.
And at school, he got the worst grades.
Easy to build a house.
Yeah, it is. Look at this NWA shit.
Easy to destroy the house.
Oh, owned. You got pwned, man. Bitch.
It's the wolf.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
No.
Why does your voice keep changing?
And I'll blow your house in.
Is it in or down? This is my favorite game of all time. Key word of the day. Blow.
So the wolf blew the house down and ate the first little pig.
Hang on. Okay. What?
The second little pig thought the sticks would make a good house.
And then the pig tried to make a fireplace, and then he realized his whole house was the fireplace and blew up.
And I'll blow your house in.
How's this gonna look? Go! Kill the bitch! Oh, we're in mid-action shot.
I like the direction you're taking the story, EyeToy Tales. This is very Christopher Nolan. What's the bet I'm gonna wave on this bird? It's gonna say, "Hello, I'm Bird."
Bird.
That's even better!
And so later that night, the wolf had a spit roast. Hey kids, you know where hot dogs come from? You guessed it. The 3 little pigs.
And built a house of bricks.
That's a washing machine.
The pig heard a knock at the door.
So he should come from that. No, he came from there. So as a Korean boy myself, I would be really confused because the wolf absolutely knocked on the mound, and now I'm gonna forever spend my life thinking that that's a door.
It's the wolf.
Wait, what's gonna happen if I... Oh!
Hey, I am a mountain. Hey, I am a mountain.
What can I mess around with? What else is there? Is that it? Was the only thing interactable in this scene the giant rock that talks like Patrick from SpongeBob? The rat! What's the rat got to say?
I am a mouse.
They are expecting miracles out of me. I have been standing here on this story for like half an hour, and I'm not doing anything active. I'm just planting myself on my feet on a flat floor. How are kids supposed to be okay with this? What can I do? Can the tree do something? Oh!
Basket. That's my name.
I think I blew my lungs out a couple of minutes ago.
Basket. That's my name.
Basket, don't hurt me, please. I'm just a basket.
Then he saw the big bad wolf coming.
Then he saw the bad wolf.
What the hell is that?
Squirrel. That's me.
How are the apples?
I don't know. Can we just have a game by these people where they just name objects and animals? Why has the pig now turned into a JCB?
I am a leaf.
The one thing that the pig didn't consider. The hole in his roof.
When the wolf was coming down the chimney, the pig took the cover off the pot.
Oh, what a bastard.
The wolf fell into the boiling water.
Do we see it? Oh! The real question now is, do we get to have fun with this scene? We do! Yeah, burn the wolf, baby! Burn him! Burn the wolf!
I'm fire.
Have I just lost my shit, or did that just say, I'm fire?
And the pig lived happily ever after.
Except his 2 other brothers and his sad, grieving mother. The end.
Why am I playing this? This ain't no EyeToy Tales. Am I playing Doo-Doo Tales? Oh, I am. And much like the other Korean game, there's also a catalogue of upcoming PS2 games in here, like Ghost Spirit and the world-beloved Sly Cooper 2, Prayer Brothers Daijongji, which immediately follows after the first Sly Cooper, where you stole the world's joy.
Ooh. We are halfway through the complete library of EyeToy exclusive games for the PS2. So just for a little bit of a fun aside, why don't we take a look at a game that was enhanced by the EyeToy.
Oh yes, much like with Kinect, EyeToy wasn't afraid to shove itself into gaps it couldn't fit in because it was compatible with a fair amount of random PS2 titles that usually meant it was only used for motion-controlled mini-games in a side menu, like with Harry Popoff and the Prisoner of Cockoff, and I would love to give that one a go, but to be completely honest, this video is long enough as it is, and after the last time a Harry Potter game told me to use a camera, I should never be allowed to do that again. Sometimes the camera was compatible even just for microphone use, but occasionally, only occasionally, it was used for something truly special, like, for instance, with This Is Football.
No, it isn't.
Why I chose to show off a lame, smelly football, though, instead of something more whimsical like Harry Potter, is because in the 2005 edition of TIFF specifically, the EyeToy allows you to add your face and literally any other face, which then can be used to make your own custom players within the game. The results were not as bad as I was expecting. This is impressive. Dude, you are looking fine. Don't look at me ever again. And I tried, oh god, I tried to make my own custom team featuring me, my childhood self, my dog, Michael Jackson, Gandhi, Mr. Beast, a bad police sketch, Jack 2, Geddy Lee, Prince Philip, and Mater. But after 45 minutes of trying, I'm sorry, I just could not make it recognize them. Look, I even managed to get away with this as a legitimate face with working eyes and a mouth, with the results looking like... And yet, despite that, no matter what I did, it did not recognize Michael Jackson as a real face, which is fair, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I guess we'll just have to stick with these two. They are Cadink and Cadonk, and they are too good for the England team, so I'm just going to rename the England team to how it's supposed to be spelled. England, innit? Good afternoon, all, and here we go. What a day to have a football match. The sun is out, the pitch is green, and it's the highly anticipated quarter-final game of the season. Wales versus England, innit? Our home team boys are revved up and raring to go after their recent successful string of games ever since the manager was recently fired and replaced with an owl. But he has made the very controversial decision to hire two up-and-coming unknowns, Cadink in centre midfield and Cadonk in goal. Cadink's technique is unlike any other footballer I've seen before, choosing to run after the ball, ignoring all sense, and then keeping it all to himself for as long as he can, just so he can score a goal all on his own and show his mum. Maybe one day she will finally let him make his own lunch. He's going for the goal, he's getting close, get it in, get it in, get it in. Oh, he muffed it! What kind of kick was that? He didn't even try. Now possession has moved over to Wales as they take a pass over to a shot, and what a save by Cadonk in goal. A very close shave indeed, and he let it in anyway. What a massive prick. No matter though, nothing phases the young upstart Cadonk, as right after missing his goal, he got straight back up and walked around in a little circle like a sim looking for the toilet. Back on the pitch, the ball is staying in possession with Wales for a long time, and that's clearly upset the other teammates of England in it, because disaster on the grass! It's a degraster! The referee has whacked out his red card for an illegal tackle from Michael Owen, who just didn't like that Wales had the ball at all and decided to do a leaping judo kick into another player that didn't even have the ball. This will certainly go to a free kick, but the punishment for Owen will not be too harsh because the guy he kicked was indeed Welsh. A successful free kick from Wales, but unbeknownst to everyone, Cadink was waiting uncomfortably close to the man the ball was aimed at, and with a flick of the wrist, the Welsh player is bowled over. And wait, could it be? Yes, it's a strike for the Welsh team, and possession is back with Cadink, who will continue to hog the ball until his next goal kick attempt, which wasn't even close. England in it are trailing behind on 1-0, so they need to step up. Their next strategy seems to be passing the ball back towards their end of the pitch, but it appears the losing team's patience is up because Cadonk has left the goal in an unprecedented move, likely inspired by his fellow player Cadink. Cadonk has decided the ball is now his and is refusing to pass it. He's going for a kick. He thinks he can land it in the net from here, but of course he can't. Why would he think he could? And he'll have to sprint as fast as he can back to the goal! Cadink has the ball yet again, and all anyone can wonder is how nobody else is getting the ball before he is. And as is tradition with all his other games prior to this one, he keeps hold of the ball until the half-time whistle, at which point he gives up and heads for Tesco's. With Cadink absent from the first few minutes of the second half, England in it seem to be getting their shit together and actually playing the game properly, until Wayne Rooney foolishly passes the ball back to who he thought was Beckham, but instead was Cadink, the dickless wonder. He had to leave his Tesco shop behind because he couldn't afford it without his club card, which he left in his other shorts. A dark day in the footballing world when a Premier League player can't afford a meal deal. Wales seem to be stepping up their game too, and within 2 minutes they have already tried for 3 goal shots, 2 of which were not intercepted by Cadonk. He didn't save them, he just tried to jump towards them, and the third shot not even being good enough for him, as he doesn't even try to stop the ball and takes a step back with his hands in the air like he just don't care. Cadonk famously does not like conflict, and the last thing a team losing 2-0 needs is a ball that is angry with the goalkeeper. Cadink once again back with the ball and appearing to perform the river dance with it, causing every player around him to just stop going near
hear him. They can all respect the performing arts when circumstances permit. Sadly, that is it. The game is over. But in an unorthodox twist, the ref has decided that a red card means play another game right after the first. How extraordinary. And Kadonk can barely believe it. He has turned purple. He's not breathing. So the next game will have to be at least half the length. Straight away within the first 5 minutes of play, Wales have once again proven that they can kick the ball and are ahead by 1 point, which has majorly upset the manager of England in it. Owl. Between games, the England Innit team seem to have muddled together a new strategy to try out now that it's nearly half time and they have nothing to lose. They will actually play football properly for ages and ages until everyone is exhausted from running around, and then by that time Caddicarus can take the ball and basically walk it into the net. It's a risky move, but it's worth a shot. Is he gonna do it? Could it be now? Are the odds in favour for the underdog? He's going for it. He shoots and it's in! He finally did it after 2.5 hours of football. That was a ball that went into, yes, you guessed it, a net. Look at the elation on his face. He is about to take off to Spain, and oh, he's working the crowd and giving them the dink. He knows they all want it, and he has 18 dinks. A promising career is ahead for Caddicarus based on that performance just then and nothing else he's ever done. If England in it can keep up, then maybe they'll finally be able to afford some more wig glue for Caddicarus that doesn't peel off his head. So ultimately, even though I did miss out on seeing His Royal Highness kicking it around one last time on the PS2 with his incompatible zombie face, this is one of the best ideas ever, and you all need to get a PS2 and EyeToy camera and This Is Football 2005 and do it. Hi everyone, it's me, Caddicarus, and I'm the angriest gamer on YouTube. Ooh, Sonic 06 makes me mad. But nobody will subscribe to me, I don't know what. Okay, tangent over. I could go on about all of the EyeToy enhanced games for the rest of this video, but we would be here all year. We need to get back on focus and stick on the EyeToy exclusives. So, with that being said, what's in this box? This game is... I'm not gonna say it. It's another Japanese exclusive, and you can tell it's Japanese because it's written in Japanese. I'm pretty sure it's called Cam Station, and I would whip out my Google to see what it thinks, but no amount of words could help me understand what it is I'm looking at. Now, this is a bit exciting. Cam Station comes with everything you need for it in its own special box. Look, you get the game, you get the camera, you get a headset, you get a controller, you get a PS2, you get an electric screwdriver, you get another boxed copy of Cam Station, and then in that box you get a controller, you get a PS2, you get a PS2, you get a PS2, and you get corn everywhere! But then, there's something sad. The headset that came with this game is indeed from 2005, and maybe I just don't know much about headset anatomy, but I didn't realize that when they got to 19 years old, their skin starts coming off and they start melting. I don't know what's going on. Is it growing out of a cocoon? And if it couldn't get any worse, for something even more sad, I was expecting to at least get to some menus in the game so I could look at more screaming golf balls and dogs that have been held hostage, but sadly, I couldn't even get past these two screens. All they did was play text pong with each other, back and forth until the heat death of all that you love. But why can't we go any further? What exactly are these tomes trying to tell us? I can't read Japanese. If only I could get a real Japanese person in the room with me right now to help. Oh my god! I can't believe how lucky I am. Look everybody, it's the world famous singer-songwriter Japanese woman Yoko Ono. Hello, I'm Yoko Ono. I miss John Lennon. We all do. Say, how's the music going? Oh, you know, loud. Well, that sounds great. Can you give us a little taste? No. So according to her, basically what these screens are is saying that we can't physically go any further with this game until we have a PS2 BB unit attached. No, not that one, a broadband unit, which I don't have. Bye! So instead, let's move on to something a lot nicer to look at. A game with two names in one, Yeti Sports, or a punchline to a joke from 1406. What did the man in the cellar say to the other man who came down his cellar and asked him if those bottles there were ports? Ye, 'tis ports. Now listen, I know it's really hard to ignore the horrible, awful British man in the middle, but don't worry, I figured out the intent behind everything on this cover. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Is this game a shitpost? I'm actually convinced it is, not just from the cover or the title, but the back as well. The first screenshot is of a minigame with 0 points and 0 time on the counter before it even began. The third screenshot is of a nightmare during the peak of a fever, and the second screenshot is of a HD man with a look of abject terror on his face as his middle finger got cut off while playing Yeti volleyball. Don't worry, man, you won't need a finger for every game. I'm sure you can play another one of the other 6 party games. Please sit back for a moment and observe my live reactions to the game first booting up and playing the menu music at me.
Ready?
Did I die? Now, I feel as though we are seriously scraping with this one, if it wasn't clear enough already. Not only do you have more and more of the exact same bull as we've already seen before, with hitting things back coming towards you, playing baseball and moving around with your arms extended, R.I.P. Big J, but it also goes out of its way to not go out of its way, and the lag across the whole thing makes playing every minigame completely impossible. Just look at the state of baseball. In the first attempt, I didn't hit the penguin at all when I absolutely should have done, but look what happens even when I do manage to hit the penguin. Playing Yeti Sports is like calling someone down for dinner and then they don't appear for a minute and a half. You make a move and then just nothing happens until the game solves a quadratic equation before doing the move. I can't give you anything else, Yeti Sports. I know you need more, but I can't provide it. I'm stretched too thin. I have bills. And I know what you're thinking. Yes, the camera looks like phlegm on toast, but it doesn't. I focused it through the game's own focus menu. Yeti Sports just does this to the camera. The game itself makes the camera uglier. Was the idea to make me look as fuzzy as the body outline here, because it is working. I look like the missing link. Look at my teeth. Why are they that color? It looks like I'm eating a mango. What have you got to say for yourself, Yeti Sports? Now, here's a question. What do these two have in common? That's right. They're video games. Just like this one. With special thanks to Nike Motion Works, here we have EyeToy Connect. Oh, wait, sorry, that's another thing. Apologies for the confusion. This mistake will not be made again. This is a game for keeping fit, and it's going to read your body movements to help you get your exercise in. I remember the last time a game told me it would do that.
Yeah, I disappeared. Mel, where have I gone?
Don't worry though, it's going to cover all the main areas. Cardio, combat, toning, minge body. The game even comes packaged with a new fancy wide-angle lens to stick on your current camera so that it can see your whole body. Ooh. I've got to hand it to this game so far. For PS2, it looks really good. I've played Xbox 360 games that look as good as this. It's just a shame that it's all for a game about exercise. It's okay though, I'm ready. My name is Fit Buff. I'm 8'1", I'm 96, and I weigh 2 pounds. Now hold it. Yeah. Now, I wish I could have some fun with this in the same vein as Get Fit with Melb, but since the EyeToy camera itself isn't quite as advanced as Kinect, it's a little limited with interacting with the world around you.
It's okay though. Whatever the game has in store for me, I'm ready. I like to keep fit in my own time, because you see, when you...
Not to mention, this game isn't designed for fun. It's designed to be a real side companion to your personal fitness journey. And I couldn't find any way to play these minigames without actually committing to a weekly regime that only changes the activities based on the internal clock as it cycles through each day of the week. Game. You've heard about EyeToy? Well, now get ready for SpyToy, where you can be the ultimate agent. And there is a lot to take in, but if you look at the back of the box, that's where you'll discover the game was developed by an Epson printer.
Now this is something I'll have no problem getting into. Spy stuff is my jam. You know, I'm actually a spy in my spare time as well. Egads! There I am! Where did he go?
You know the most interesting part of SpyToy right out of the box? That it comes pre-packaged with a security system. You think I'm kidding? For starters, you can actually set your face as a password to get into the main game, which is sick. And spoiler alert, it does work when you start the main game later. Apple Face ID? Too unreliable. I've got a new phone now, don't need you, and in a few years there'll be an update where you can text. Then on top of that, if you decide to stop playing the main game at any point, you can set up the camera to detect motion in specific places around the room, and the game will then snap pictures of whatever it catches. You can turn off your TV, pretend the console is off, and then take pictures of people without their consent. This is a game for kids. I suppose the idea is that it's supposed to capture your little brother or sister stealing your Pokemon cards, but my guess is that it mostly ended up catching mums picking up dirty pants all around the bedroom. Thing is though, if you turn your TV off, then you miss out on the custom alerts that you can make when it does catch something. That'll teach you. There's also this strange background removal tool which has nothing to do with spies or toys. Why is this a part of the game? So, funny story on my way here to... night? If you ever wanted to take the luxurious holiday of your dreams without your wallet having a nightmare, well, here at Feces Airlines, we pride ourselves on the best holiday packages at the best possible prices. With discount rates to New York to see the taxis, Australia to see the Sydney Opera House, and Germany to see the German building. These destinations and at least 2 others are available on our website, Feces Airlines. Holidays that'll leave a mark. Onto the main game we go, and whenever I tried to type in my name, for some reason all of the Russian hackers got in and kept picking letters that I just actually wasn't picking. Look, I'm not doing anything. Why is it picking H over and over again? I can't be asked to fight this, I'm just gonna be...
It's genius, really, because like if you're ever captured or interrogated and they keep asking your name, you'll be going... and they'll just think you're running out of air when actually you are telling them your name. So they don't realise that they're getting the info they want. Wait, but then that means that they think that... Hang on, wait. Because if they think that that's your name when you're actually running out of air, then they're going to keep doing it until you do run out of... I didn't think about this, did I?
Once the main game itself starts, it's basically just a load of one-off missions involving you trying to capture man-geese that involve playing the same kinds of mini-games, but at slightly harder difficulties for each goose that you catch. Speaking of, when he was a baby, what happened? Did his uncle sit on his head? Why does he look like this?
You've decrypted these images of a French scientist.
Oh, that explains it. So this means 1 second you'll be decoding symbols with a weird shape you'll need to work out how to turn. Then you'll be skydiving from a plane to land safely on headquarters. Then you'll be defusing a bomb by timing these weird injection things into a shaky shape. Is it wrong to say I actually like this? Because I do. It's kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying this and I want to keep going. It works really well and has a great style to it, but god damn, I just can't keep looking at these crims. They're too off-putting for me. They really freak me out. These eggs with receding hairlines.
However, I saved the best for last, because there's a mode in this game that allows you to use all 240p's of the camera.
Yeah, it turns out all this time we weren't even using the full potential of the EyeToy. This is how it looks raw and uncut, and it looks a bit better than I thought it would. The frame rate tanks, but it doesn't matter. You can even use the controller to zoom really far into wherever you point the cursor at. I saved this on my memory card. And one day, many years in the future, long after I'm gone, somebody will find it. And then you'll have to run.
Being a spy is stressful, so I'm gonna have more baby playtime with EyeToy Play 3.
Oh my god, what's that? Includes mega bonus disc? Shitting yes, what's on it? Yes! I can play them again. In smaller, bite-sized versions.
This is also the 7th game in this video so far made by London Studio, PlayStation's London development team, and where most of the EyeToy library was made. You know, now that I think about it, this camera was initially released for Europe only to see how it performed, hence the London development team, which is probably why most people I meet don't know what the hell this thing is whenever I bring it up. In fact, looking into it, out of all 28 games made for the EyeToy, only 8 of them came out in America. This is all starting to make sense now. I was wondering why everyone I met who hadn't heard of EyeToy was holding a Twinkie and an AR-15. What can I say about EyeToy Play 3 that I haven't said about EyeToy Play 2 that I haven't said about EyeToy Play 1? Easy. It has a face-swapping mode. Me and my fiancé will never have a child. Here's a side mode about standing still. Oh look, vermin. What Play 3 does do to avoid feeling like the same game again though is pretty smart. It gives your living room legs. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And it also gives you less actual themes of game to choose from, but then potatoes up the meat by splitting those themed games up into multiple mini-games. So like, instead of getting bored just playing drums for a game on its own, or just playing guitar, or just playing trombone, now you're thrown back and forth between all of them at the same time in one game, so that you can finally be Jim and the Gyms, which then also gets further split up with a bodyguarding minigame against rabid fans rushing the stage. And let's just say, my band attracts a type. The same applies to all of the games on Play 3, including the hair salon one featuring nail chewing, sports games featuring a very unfortunate pose.
No!
The Army Cadet game featuring the most rigorous of training regimes, such as copying what your friend is doing.
Seems more like monkey see, monkey do.
And even to the extent of the conducting game, featuring me in 20 years. You did great, by the way. Take a bow in the outline. You do have to be careful when playing the army game though, because if someone walks by your window in the afternoon, then it looks a little bit like... I think I prefer Play 2 across the Play trilogy, but this isn't a bad casual game at all, and probably the best made Play game for the minigames centered around one player. And before you all start laughing at me for how I look in the DJ game, think twice about that, because that is bullying. We can't help how we look. I legit had more fun with the bowling game here than I did with Wii Bowling, even if I did have to look at this guy's sweaty card reader. Yes, it's more of the same. Yes, I'm getting sick of looking at myself. Yes, I still hate this little bastard's voice.
Wait!
But so what? I still had fun with it, and it works well. I don't have anything else to say. It's EyeToy Play again, but this happens sometimes. So right now, I'm going to transition over to the next game while the music I made on the EyeToy theremin plays in the background. Now here we have a total anomaly. It's a Japanese-developed motion camera-based PS2 only rhythm game by Namco that's European exclusive. I know it just sounds like I've made all of that up, but I promise you, I didn't. This is Rhythmic Star, and the more I look at it and the more I think about it, the less sense it begins to make. I just can't make heads or tails of it. None of this adds up. It doesn't even have a wiki page. Does this game exist? My favorite thing about the box is how the final bullet point lists some of the special costume items you can win, like vampire teeth, big ears, and even funky dreads. Why did they write it like that? Are dreadlocks more unbelievable than vampire teeth? Okay, time to line my body up with the camera. Yep, this looks fine.
Now, maybe it's because this game was made by Namco. Maybe it's because it's a rhythm game, which are already really fun on EyeToy to begin with and work properly. Whatever the reason, I had really high expectations for this game. It just looked really cool. I thought it was going to be a new PS2 hidden gem for me. However, it wasn't. Here is my handle. Here is my spout.
I'm at least happy to report that Rhythmic Star does work and it has a decent soundtrack of licensed music, even if they are covers. But that's where my happiness peaks. This is probably the worst rhythm game I've ever played in my life because I swear to God it makes no sense. I tried to understand it. I played this for a good 30 to 45 minutes, but look at my face. This is not a man having a nice PlayStation. The idea is that you hit the stars as the symbols reach them in time with the music. Really pushing the boat out there. But the thing is, every other EyeToy rhythm game like this has notes appearing from the middle so that your hands can work with your brain in HR and move your body towards where they're heading in time with the music. It's easy to see what the dual notes are, the alternating notes, the long notes, and your brain can fill the gaps in on when the timing of the next few notes may appear to get you into the swing of everything. But with Rhythmic Star, I can't even make out when the beats are across the symbols. Not just because it's very unclear, but because each colored note heads towards their stars at completely different speeds. And 50% of the notes aren't in rhythm with the beat itself, because at random points you're hitting notes in time with the drum beat, then you're timing notes around the vocal line, then you're following the guitar solo at the same time as the backing vocal shouts from the crowd, then you're following the drum beat on the first and third beat, and then suddenly swapping to the second and fourth off beat with no indication, and you're figuring all of this out while following two totally different lines of beats on your left and right arm, with all these notes going to different stars at totally different speeds. I don't know what the idea was supposed to be, and I wish I could play you a part of the game with the music so you could see what I'm trying to say, but I can't because of copyright, which should really be called copy wrong. After 25 minutes or so, I did eventually manage to get some kind of hang of it. I wanted to figure out how it worked, but it still wasn't fun. I have to ignore the flow of the music and just concentrate hard on where the hell these Christmas tree toppers are going, and if the slow yellow ones are in the center yet or are just hanging outside the hot tub with their feet in it. So to summarize, Namco made this in Japan and then left it in Europe. Nowhere else. We must have given them a bad trade deal. Fill me up, butter boy, fill me up, don't fill my cup. Here is a star with a monobrow. What would you do if I told you that Phoenix Games, the people who made this, and this, and this, made an EyeToy game? And with that new information, what would you then do if I told you that the name of that game is more unbelievable than the fact it even exists in the first place? Clumsy Shumsy for the EyeToy is probably as obscure as my collection could possibly get. A European-only, EyeToy-only PS2 motion game made by the same people who made Finkel's World. The screenshots on the back don't even have people in them. The only thing EyeToy does is show people on your screen, and yet Clumsy Shumsy on EyeToy has no screenshots of people on screen!
Okay, so, we just literally booted up Clumsy Shumsy on PS2. And, they've given me warning text that is invisible because of my walls. I don't know, let's continue and hope for the best. Yes.
Clumsy Shumsy... Clumsy Shumsy is a collection of 8 minigames, all of which begin without explaining anything you're supposed to do or why you should care.
Player 1, get ready to do something. We're not going to tell you what.
All the while, it expects you and your children, no less, to fit in this outline.
Who's built like this? I need to get, like, what?
And by the way, you get to look at this in every single loading screen. Who the hell is this runt? And why did they add extra graphic and shading detail to his roll pouch? Take, for instance, the quintessential game of this collection, Lost Shumsies, a game where no Shumsies are lost, you don't need to find them, you blow them all up instead, and then you realise this is a 2-player only game despite me already telling the game I'm 1 player on my own, because look at this packet of crisps, nobody's gonna come over to see me.
Clumsy options, Shumsy credits.
And what are the mini-games, pray tell? Exactly what you'd expect.
Hey kids, have you ever wanted to play Simon Says with air on your PlayStation 2? Well, we've got the game for you. It's called Clumsy Shumsy, and it stars your aunt after she got hit by a big old grape.
I will give Clumsy Shumsy this, though. A few of the games work. So overall, Clumsy Shumsy is exactly the kind of game you'd expect from the same company that came up with the idea for a game called
Get ready to burn in hell? Yep, I'm way ahead of you, buddy. I would rather do that right now. What did you say? Are you saying clumsy shumsy shave your bum hair. What did you say?
Aw, how cute. EyeToy. You think you're so great, don't you? Yeah? Well, I've got an EyeToy. It's really fun for your eye. Let me show you how it works.
Matt, come back here. It's okay. Matt, I just need to talk to you. It gets to your eye. Up is not jump, more like eye is not toy.
Oh boy, we're back in the EyeToy Kinetic cinematic universe. Get ready, mates. It's EyeToy Kinetic Combat. The Spanish version of this game is very special because it isn't just combat, it's total combat, which makes me mad that we got an incomplete combat. And while I'm on one, Spain didn't just get EyeToy Kinetic either, they got EyeToy Kinetic Total Fitness. Why did we miss out, England? Until I saw these games, I didn't realize that if I ever wanted to learn how to fight somebody, all I've got to do is get fit first and then stand the other way. Fun fact, I don't own any promotional press copies of games. They're usually a bit... yeah, but there is one that I do own now, and it's for EyeToy Kinetic Combat of all things. And when filming this bit, I hadn't opened it yet, so I was super excited.
You know, the modern games, they tend to have a lot of really cool shit in them, along with the game, obviously. So yeah, you've got the game, and then you've got the lens adapter, I think that is. Yep, that's that there. But yeah, modern games tend to have a lot of stuff in with the promo so that they can share good social media shit, and retro games like this one don't have anything else in them other than the disc, and that's it. I like my life as a carpenter. There's nothing I'd rather be. I've had my tools so many long years, they're all good friends to me.
Okay, everyone, time to set your wide-angled Ring doorbell up on top of the TV. Just make sure you've got enough space in whatever house you live in to see every single part of your body with no other objects around you. You know, like this lady, who lives in a house that we can all relate to. This is the everyman of houses, and if you don't have a house perfectly tailored to the fitness program, then you're just a pleb who probably looks like this. You want to hear the saddest part though? This is exactly the same game as EyeToy Kinetic, and I will not have any slag tell me otherwise. The only difference here is that you've got more ways to play all the different fitness games because you aren't committed to a weekly schedule, but it's still the same kind of idea, just with more murdering endangered panthers. The biggest issue though is that it really does require that you play the game not from your house but from an empty jet plane hangar, because there is no reliable way to punch and kick in a regular sized space. Oh yes, we're kicking on EyeToy now, and it only took 22 games to get here. They want you to be proper and accurate to the teachings, but how are you supposed to do that when the best camera position you can get can't reach your feet and makes your target 1/3 of the size of you? You're so tall they don't measure you in feet, they measure you in legs. And when it works, it is impressive how accurate it is, granted, but when you're screamed at to punch, kick, and avoid attacks by moving as quickly as you can, it's just not feasible in a British house. It became easier for me to stop listening to the angry trainer and just stay hunched over. Hey, it worked, and I don't see you making it work, so who's the laughing stock now, hey?
Psst, over here. Do you want to buy a wife?
What's next? I'm ready now.
I guess it was only inevitable, but I'm surprised it happened so late anyway. Here is EyeToy Plays Sports. And at very first, I thought I was in for a grey day, because in the one-player menu, I could see only 2 games to play. Very clever, EyeToy Plays Sports. 1 game less, and you would have to call yourself EyeToy Plays Sport. Luckily though, my fears were put to rest as soon as I booted up this golf game and realised that you have to win minigames to win golf. And then my fears came flooding back once I saw what they did to my lovely face. So yeah, what you actually do in this one-player golf game is choose whether or not you want a hard minigame for a longer shot or an easy minigame for a weaker shot. Risk versus reward. And I say minigame, but honestly, this is more micro games. It's EyeToy WarioWare.
There's no time to rest, the games change up every few seconds and they barely last 10 to 30 seconds on their own before you make your next move. So take aim, jump up, and bowl over. Catch the baseball, serve the tennis ball, save the goals, bounce the ball, break the sticks, avoid the sticks, string the racket, hang the gliding, spot the correct horse that won the race, do the math. Alright, no time to stop here, so get off your pudgy ass and move it. Come on, let's go. That McDonald's isn't gonna shift itself. You've gotta go, go, go. Oh, don't go in there! If you want variety, then this is the EyeToy game to go for. It's everything that made the other in-house developed EyeToy games fun and working, but now with much more to do and in much more manageable bites. Can we just take another second to notice how surprisingly well this thing works despite being 20 years old? I'm sorry, I don't want to say that I was right, but I was right. This thing is better than Kinect so far. It works better and the games are more fun. Yeah, I'll die on this hill. The only things that make it worse are when people don't know how to make a game. It's not the camera's fault. After all these years of neglect and fading from memory, the EyeToy is legit really good for the time and is still pretty fun now. There's nothing it can do at this point to make me not. Bob the Builder was released on the EyeToy in 2007 alongside BioShock and Halo 3. Are we ready, everybody? Bob the Building. He's a building. Bob the Building. Oh no! This game was made by Blast, who, if you know your PS2, should be a very familiar name to you for their vast library of games that 99% of which are the worst reviewed on the entire console. And now they've got hold of your kids. And you wouldn't think that the game would need much of an explanation, but Blast Entertainment certainly disagree, because here you have a manual thick enough to explain the basics of Magic the Gathering, just in case you need to learn the best hand possible for laying plywood and bricks. What is the necessity for this? This isn't D&D, it's B&B. Building and Bobs. Right, so we've got splash animations, we've got Blast, we've got Hit Entertainment, and we've got the Bob the Builder logo, and we've got... Dark days have fallen on the Bob household.
Warning, Bob the Builder uses an autosave feature. Is that what's written on his contracts before he gets a job? But just be careful, everybody. Bob uses an autosave feature.
Just in case it wasn't clear, this game is for young children. And because of that, I have to do one of two things. Cut my legs off, or point the camera at the ceiling to pretend that I am one. Okay, sorted. So what now? Should we hang out with T-Pose the Scarecrow? Should we wake up Bob before he runs down a deer? Or should we begin the game, where the story is all about that one time Bob had a seizure on the building site? At the absolute least, though, it is good to know that you can use all of the training you learned during the game to trade in your high scores for a real-life construction diploma. Let's begin the story mode then, and the story is that we are a builder and we're building a house. So naturally, the first mission is to catch fish.
I've promised her that we'll catch it.
Yeah, alright, yeah, I'll wave over the fish to
This is a pretty unfair place to begin, if you ask me. What kind of back-end stab alley school did we come out of that the first thing they expect builders to do is angling? Welcome everyone to day one of training on how to be a doctor, and the very first thing I want you to do is a backside 180 tray flip off this man's head. Make sure you don't grab the trash though. That's not a fish, that's a boot, and it goes back in the water where it belongs. Taking it away is stealing. After all of that, you then get a cutscene going off into the next mission, showing off Bob and his wife's reptile telepathy.
Great! I love sports.
But he needs to know if you can start right away.
Don't worry. I'll go back now and speak to him. The others can follow along.
So yeah, if it wasn't obvious, the next logical step of a builder's life after fishing at 6 AM is then quad biking through the countryside and driving into fallen trees.
Okay, that one hurt a bit.
Oh, did it?
This game is exactly the same as that SpongeBob driving one from ages ago, but the thing driving moves slower.
Check me out.
Shit me out.
Which then makes the game harder and slower. So, screw me, right?
We made it! Sunflower Valley rocks!
Who decided that should be the voice of a quad bike?
Another cutscene plays here, and this is where I decided off camera to expose my fiancée to the eldritch horrors of the modern CG Bob the Builder remake.
So have you seen the CG one?
No.
Oh my, look it up on your phone.
I don't know if I want to.
Oh, I want you to. Remember I told you to look up what a Sibian was? Well, now I'm telling you to look up CG Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right?
Why is he all, like, normal sized?
Yeah, he's a regularly proportioned man. He's gone from Bob the Builder to Bob a Builder.
The next minigame is washing cars. Very important building work.
This is how most of our jobs start off.
Most of your jobs start off apparently by doing some fishing and quad biking. What are you talking about? We're on like level 6. When are we gonna do some actual construction work? Like he's doing, and loving it. Loving life. My name's Bob. I love my job.
The next step in the building process is then not building, as all of the farm vehicles have decided to steal everyone else's supplies, and it's our job to sort it all out and swap around planks of wood and cement.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, you should be. Bastard.
You know, what's the point of your kids wasting their time doing all of this when you can just send them outside and have them do it for real? By the way, where the hell is Bob, the man who the game is named after? I saw him one time ages ago, and it was when he was quad biking away from everybody. I think he realized that was more fun than bricklaying. Is the story mode a psychological exploration of Bob's midlife crisis? Sadly, there's no time to think about that though, because we finally, after all this time, get to do some building. By scaring crows out of a field. By the way, he says he just needs help because he can't do this alone, but then the whole time you're doing this, he doesn't do piss.
Why aren't you doing anything?
Spud's on the job.
Tell your friends Spud's in the market for another job. He has qualifications.
And so now, after all this nosing around, we can finally... Bob.
We're doing building, people! We're doing building! Yeah, let's go!
It's time to put some steel girders down. Yeah, and that's not all. The most exciting bit is yet to come.
The next stage is laying the bricks for the walls.
Yeah!
But I've spent the first year of my construction university course being wicked on a bike and fishing. How do I lay the bricks? I checked thoroughly through Bob the Bible and I couldn't figure it out.
Here's Wendy and Scoop to show you how it's done. See?
Oh, that's how you do it.
This is one of my favourite jobs, and also one of the most important. Without floors, we'd all be standing around in the cellar.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Putting the floor down is very important, because if you don't have a floor, then you'd fall in through the floor.
Good job.
Good jobby. What a fine jobby that was. Bob the jobby. Can he lift it? Bob the jobby. He's got a bag.
The building is over now. It's time to clean up and get out of there before the feds arrive. So make sure you're quick and follow the imitation cut-out cardboard Bob as he drops all the rubbish out the windows.
I'll move in that direction. Make sure I'm directed.
Please do it quickly. I don't have long. Bob! Why did you give me sentience, Bob? Why couldn't you drive the bloody digger? Why did I get a brain, Bob? Yeah!
It was also during this particular minigame that I had an epiphany on the lore of Bob the Builder.
What I've noticed, honey, just now.
Yeah.
Bob the Builder's theme tune, right? It's Bob the Builder, can we fix it, right?
Yeah.
They never ask, can they build it? And I know that sounds like a bit of a nitpicky thing to say, but if all they do is fix stuff, does that mean that they build it poorly and they have to fix it, all the shit that they end up building? Who was the builder before Bob?
And with that, the story mode is complete. So what was the story? We did a day's work and 20% of it was building. That was the story. But like all great stories, there's a sequel. And so we move on to Bob the Builder 2, Potholes. Yes, we're not quite done yet because Blast wants us to fill in more than 10 potholes of the village roads in less than a minute before we leave the game and never come back. And I know that sounds excessive, but I lived in a village for 11 years and this is the most accurate depiction of real British life I've ever seen in a video game, including the cement mixer with eyes.
Once I fill the pothole in, they'll never find the body.
I think we better try again.
Why? We got 3 stars, you bitch!
And that's it. The whole game is finished. In 19 minutes. And what's your reward for all of that hard work and cup of soup lunches in the van while reading The Sun?
Sing along now, as loudly as possible.
Ironically, he tells me to sing along as loud as possible, and then they play the theme song, which is then like 10 decibels quieter than the rest of the game, and I can't hear it.
It's also worth mentioning that the theme song is the only background music of every minigame in the story, just at different speeds. And the full vocal theme you get as a reward at the very end of the game is the same full vocal theme you get at the very beginning of the game on the main menu. Unexpected item in bagging area.
As a quick aside for a second, do you want to see how little the demand for EyeToy was by the time this lad came along? I got this game, brand new, sealed, for £3.99. And that was not the only one. Monkey Mania, Anti-Grav, Spy Toy, Clumsy Shumsy, Kinetic Combat, and now this were all sealed with the original PS2 plastic and were mostly all dirt cheap. The thought that there is just a warehouse somewhere filled with unsold sealed copies of Bob the Builder on EyeToy is enough to keep me awake at night, but I'd rather think about that than hear that theme song again. Build the Bobder. He's not built yet. Build the Bobder. How do we do it? Okay then, we're coming up to the last handful of games made for the EyeToy now, and man, I wish I could say that it didn't feel like it. Thomas the Tankin Dankin. But be warned, don't you think about selling it separately now. They're watching you.
Personally, I can't wait, because the back of the box is telling me the main goal of the game is to get safely home to a shed, so sign me up. Choo-choo. Roger me, Thomas.
Hey, you know what kids like? Ice cream, Happy Meals, The Wiggles, eating stones, and videos with no background music of a train with a face.
Thomas had never won a prize before, but he was determined for that to change.
What's the music?
I don't know, this is a very lonely game.
Alright, fair enough, so I gotta put myself in this outline so that the game can see nothing but my forehead.
Why is the fat controller not shaded?
What?
Well, he's not shaded. Look, he's just like a 3D modelled shape.
And shortly after losing your mind over Roblox fat controller, you get your first task of this train racing game.
The engine's faces are all mixed up. Can you put the right faces on? Sorry, everyone, said the fat controller. I tore off Thomas's face, and then I lost it. Can you help us, giant baby? Hiding behind the shed.
And just when you think it couldn't get any weirder...
Alright, which face?
But don't worry, if you can't remember beat for beat which face belongs to which coloured steam train because you have a mortgage, it doesn't matter, because the game just tells you what face to choose. You win!
The story is that we're a train, we left the shed, and then our face fell off.
Next up, we've got to paint all of the engines because some unforeseen force ripped their skin off from 5 minutes ago. It's a paint game. You paint. Go nuts, Da Vinci.
They're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8. Shouting violence, lots of hate. Red and green and brown and blue. They don't care, they're after you.
Okay then, so the next thing we got to do in this racing game is go and get a load of coal.
Can you help load up Thomas with enough coal for the... Wave your hand over the pulley.
Can you help load up Thomas?
Ah, well, at least if we're not literally racing in this racing game yet, the train should be racing to get his jobs done before it, right?
Oh, This is why we don't use tank engines anymore. Where's Thomas the Japanese bullet train? Is that really what we're doing?
Hopefully the quality will jump back up as we head over to the Play series again with EyeToy Play Astro Zoo, the first game I've ever seen that confirms my belief that children are animals. And I'm sure you're asking the same question that I was. What is an Astro Zoo?
I know.
Oh, okay, so it's a zoo in space. And the story is that that's a bad idea, so you've been sent up to fix it and stop the animals from suffocating and being sucked through a hole in the ship. This is yet another EyeToy Play game. It's the 5th one made by the same people, so you know it's gonna work well, but you also know what kind of games to expect. You know that you'll get points for beating the shit out of a squirrel. It's par for the course at this point. What's that? We've got to squeeze a satellite out of a choking snake? Yep, nothing out of the ordinary here. Oh, don't worry about me, I'm just spanking the dangly bit of a shark. Just another Monday. I love Mondays. Quick, run after the crocodile before he gets into the captain's cockpit and eats his cockpit off.
Wow, how lucky am I? It's a brand new day, and there's no more EyeToy games for me to play. Uh-oh! I forgot! There's an EyeToy game in the sea!
EyeToy Play Hero. The first game I've ever seen that can swim, and also a game about a little boy who's holding a sword like this. Are you attacking someone with a sword or stirring cheese? And that's not the only odd thing going on. Look at the box the game comes with. What on earth is in here? A rolling pin. What cool stuff is in this box? Well, an EyeToy camera, the game, a sword.
Back up a second. This box has a sword in it. No, it doesn't. It's tiny. God, if you manage to get a full-size sword into this box, then my name is... The box didn't say it came with the boy.
And as it turns out, I was right. Here's the sword. How much more uselessly miniature could you be? This isn't a sword, it's a toothbrush. Well, hey, at least it looks kind of cool, and it glows in the dark.
It's alright though, I do get it. You give a monkey an axe and suddenly you're in a wheelchair. You don't want to give an excited child a giant club to swing around. So with that being said, why is it that this foam sword that bends smacks shit harder than a snooker ball in a sock? This can do... Ow.
Don't have any green objects on screen, don't wear green clothes, and don't play in overexposed light in a green tinted room. Oh no, the Black Knight has invaded, the food is gone, and the villagers have gone feral. But don't worry, because if anyone can help us, it's Caddy, the frumpy knight. And he has a magic sword, which you don't know how to use, so you're guided along by this gentleman.
That no-good warlock imprisoned me in here to help him steal all the stones of Illustria.
And I don't want to make judgments about this guy or start throwing around accusations without any evidence, but let's just say his favourite part of Leon the Professional is Natalie Portman. This magic sword, by the way, for all intents and purposes, is a lightsaber. So if any of you out there felt like your hopes were dashed by Star Wars Kinect, well then get this game because it's 10 times better, 10 times more responsive, and you're holding a physical object you can swing around like a true hero.
Those kids think they are pretty cute.
I knew it. Sure, there's a little bit of lag, and yes, this is an entire game just about swinging a sword and holding it in certain positions. But goddamn, it's a game about swinging a sword and holding it in certain positions that works great and makes you feel really sad. What more do you need? There's duels, there's horse riding while cutting down trees, there's arrow guarding, there's apples. You know, aside from the... This is yet another well-made EyeToy Play game. If you want to take anything away from this video today, at the very least know that if it says EyeToy Play on the box, then it is part of that series.
But you know what you can do to make it better? Attach the game bundle box to the sword to make it longer. You know what's even better than that? Another sword. And another box.
You know, Snap was never the same after the Rice Krispie Wars.
And with that, we've made it. The final game ever made for the PS2 EyeToy before it stopped having games made for it.
If there is one thing that EyeToy Play Pom Pom Party proves above anything else, it's that I'm not funny. Which I already knew, but now it's an indisputable fact, because this game, not only being the final EyeToy exclusive release before it bit the dust, but also coming out the same year as GTA 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Dead Space, is a joke that I am just unable to make up myself. It's also one of the most progressive games of the time, not because of all the race inclusions on the box, but all the species inclusions. You've got girl, fish, 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 and fish. That's not the only interesting thing about it either, for deep within the kitchen sink U-bend copper piping box is not only the game, but 2 EyeToy branded cheerleading pom-poms, which are now unironically the coolest things I probably own right now.
My name's Savannah.
Girl, you're my B.A.B. Say once, say twice, you're my queen, honey. I'm ready, I'm steady, you know I'm good to go. I'm slicker than your average, no one ever says no. My
You're my number one for the things you've done for me.
Oh crap! It's the Rozzers! No, wait, no, God, stop! Just end game. Stop filming me. Quit. Why? You're not quitting. I need you to quit. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. I can like this stuff. It's fine. Look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anyone. See? Look, I don't need... Look, see this box here? Don't need it. See? Check this out. Watch this go. I'm not the one with the problem. You're the one with the problem. You think this is weird? Well, you know, there's no box anymore. Like, what are you gonna do to me? With that no evidence, there's no trial.
And that was the EyeToy. So even though for the majority, this modest little PS2 camera kind of fell over and died and farted on your mum, its legacy and impact can't be understated, especially for just silly, fun, casual console games. By 2008, it sold over 10 million units. It predated the Wii and Kinect. I can confidently say it does work more consistently than Kinect does at least, and it needs to be remembered if for no other reason than how fun it is to experience Sega soup. We have been through its entire sordid catalogue, and even though I do find it sad how most American friends of mine either barely remember it or just don't know what it is at all, I'm happy at least knowing that when I was a kid, 90% of people I knew of were talking about it or owned it. It's such an odd anomaly, not only of PS2 history, but video game history as a whole, especially for the region differences. It also lasted way longer than you'd expect. If you wanted to, you could even use this blurry old minger for taking pictures in the original Little Big Planet for PS3. I built my own level with it. And that's not all. I mean, look at how the first PSVR worked for PS4. To track where the headset was, it used the PlayStation camera, which was an update of the PS3 PlayStation Eye, which was an update of the PS2 EyeToy.
EyeToy. Eye. Camera. Why did they gouge it out? I'm so sorry you lost your eye, PlayStation.
It's okay, I've learned to live without it. I've got other ways of knowing you're there anyway.
Oh yeah? Like what? Oh no! It's the PlayStation nose!
Subscribe.
Stan, if a pregnant woman goes swimming, she is a submarine.